In the umpires for tonight's match from South Australia, John Hilton, from Victoria, Rowan Soares. As we say, a very good evening first of all to Lou Richards.
Good evening, Pete.
And special comments tonight coming from Peter Marker. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Peter. Very good to be here.
Well, Essendon have sprung a surprise. Vanderhaar wasn't picked in the 23 or 4 players that were named this morning, Pete.
There he is, Lou, going to the bench, it looks like. Yeah.
I think he's there with Thompson. I'm not quite sure the other player, but I should imagine, Pete, that Norwood will be flat out because they put on a good performance against Geelong here the last time.
They did, Lou. They've got quite a few players out, and I guess that affects an SA side more than it does a Victorian side, but they'll be competitive for sure.
Well, the ground certainly looks a picture. It's a perfect night for football, so there's no excuses for either side, really.
We keep turning on this good weather for you, Lou. I'm not quite sure why, but
I can vouch for the fact, Pete, that it is a lot warmer here than it was in Sydney on Sunday, and I'm sure Lou will back me up on that. We had a very stiff southerly breeze. I notice the end favoured by the wind here tonight should be the right-hand goal as we look at it from our elevated camera position. I was watching a bit of the preliminary match here tonight, and that seemed to be the scoring end. Rowan Soares to start the match. It's the first quarter of the fourth and final quarter-final of the Foster's Cup for season 1985. Walsh for Essendon gets the first tap out, and it's a real scrimmage to start. There must be about 20 players in there. They came from everywhere, and umpire Hilton has decided, I think very wisely, that it will be a bounce. Ground in excellent condition. Very firm centre. Knock away again by Walsh. Picked up for Essendon by Harvey, who's had a great season. The mark or paid down there to Ross. I thought he spilt that one. He might get a free kick and ultimately a 15-metre penalty. The latter is certainly applicable now, and that brings him right up to the centre wing. He's got 2 15-metre penalties. And subsequently goes for a pass, and the marker is taken by Lachlan, a former Richmond player. Lachlan at centre field. Now towards right half forward. Is that a mark or a free kick? No, neither, says the umpire. Play on. Now umpire Soares has found a free kick to Essendon. It's gone to Waterson. He's got it back to Watson. Watson chips the ball in short out towards the centre wing position. Very, very wide. Close to the boundary line. In fact, it beats Harvey over the line. And we'll see a boundary throw in adjacent to the players' interchange area.
Well, Norwood are being a little bit aggressive at the moment, Peter.
Well, the coaching of Neil Baum coming out. Of course, Sheedy the same, Lou. They played the game the same way, didn't they?
That's right.
Both played it hard. Both like to win. Elshaw shoots out a long hand pass. Not a particularly good one to Folds. Now it's taken for Essendon by Harvington. He's caught. Beautiful tackle down there. That was by Scanlon. McIntosh left centre wing. He's gone long up towards the left half forward flank. The ball up the hands of the packet out of bounds, and at the Norwood left half forward flank we will see a boundary throw in. Norwood, of course, here in the opening round defeated Geelong quite convincingly in the end. Walsh at the back doing well in the ruck so far. Normally a key defender for Essendon. Umpire Rowan Soares has decided it will be a bounce as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, no scorers yet from either side. It's on Norwood's half-forward line, about 70 metres out from their goal. Walsh got that knockout, but another little scrimmage, but the umpires found a free kick. It'll go to Norwood's Neagle on that half-forward flank position. Looking there for Michael Annie in the front posse. Can he mark this one? Now the ball punched away. Going through as Watson. He was grabbed too high. And Watson will take the free kick. They pile on top of him. It's Michael Annie having a go there too, but Timmy Watson with the ball. In between fullback and centre half back position. Gone for a short pass. It's okay and marked here by Ellis. Ellis gives a hand pass back to Watson. Watson out there at half back, goes out wide, looking out there for Harvey at the back. He's got the mark.
There he is.
Now he called play on. Oh, ducking the head now. A hand pass comes out back there to Thompson. Knocks the ball back to Bradbury. Runs into his own teammate King. Out it goes to Harvey again. A pass. Not a good one. Players pile on top there in front of the Essendon goal, but the umpire will ball this up for short. He's letting it go. Now he's going to ball it up. Coming on the ground now is Vanderhaar going to centre half back or into defence.
Going out to Michael Annie.
Ball up here now in front of the Essendon goal. Ball hits the deck. Hand pass comes out towards Harvey, but the ball is forced out that time by Murdoch.
Yeah, I noticed when Vanderhaar came on, Lou, that Neil Danaher went down the race, and he appeared to be limping pretty badly.
Waiting now for the ball to come back into play. Merritt against Hine. Hine did so well the last time for Norwood when they played against Geelong and thrashed them. So it'll be a ball up about 25 metres out from the Essendon goal. A perfect night for football, so there's no excuse for either side. That's grabbed by Merritt, had a fresh air shot. It's Gallagher picking the ball up. Down there in the back pocket, the ball driven out there by Taylor it was. Back there towards the half-forward flank, but there's a mark taken here. Well, it's out of bounds. Out of bounds when it was knocked out that time. The ball out of bounds about 70 metres around from the Essendon goal. Elshaw fumbled that one. Another stack here, but very scrambly play. I would say, Peter, that both sides are testing each other out at the moment.
I think you're right, Lou. They're pretty keen, and I think it gets back to the rivalry between the two coaches, Baum and Sheedy. They're both pretty desperate to win.
Well, we're just over the 4-minute mark, or just on the 4.5-minute mark, and no scorers yet.
Free kick going, no, it's going Essendon's way, will be taken by Terry Danaher. As Peter Marker mentioned, Neil Danaher limped off. Let's hope that's not his knee. He was just coming back in some good form. Let's take a replay. It will be a free kick here. Winter will get the free kick. Or is it Hine? Hine coming out with the kick now. Terry Danaher was the flyer. Walsh knocked it away from him. Danaher tried to claim the mark, but it certainly wasn't his. Loose ball. Plenty of Essendon players in there. A very scrambly opening to this match. And approaching the 5-minute mark, it will once again be a ball up at the right half-forward flank for Essendon.
Well, the colours of both sides look alike out there when they join a pack there, Pete, don't they?
They certainly do. If you're watching on black and white television, good luck to you. Ball booted up by Norwood towards the centre wing position. Hand pass comes out from Kelly. Might be downfield. In fact, it will be. Free kick will be taken by, at 22 is Winter. Will be taken by Scanlon, I think, number 21. Yes, Scanlon with the free kick. Scanlon at left centre wing. Long kick to the half-forward flank, knocked away by Walsh. Putting his head down as Roberts. McIntosh, always a goer. Back to Roberts again, put his head down, but he comes out with the ball and well played. Roberts has gone for a short pass, might be too long. Just bounces inside the boundary line before McGrath can get there. And in the forward pocket for Norwood, we will see a boundary throw in. Neil Baum obviously shaking the head and quite disappointed with some of the effort so far. I think both coaches would be. It's been a very scrambly opening here at Football Park. In goes Bradbury very solidly. Who's coming out with the ball? Michael Laney got a touch to it. Players hunting in packs at the moment, and certainly the skills of the game not really evident so far.
It's a bit like a rugby match, isn't it? It's there are players all over the place, and I think Lou's point about those Guernseys, the players might be a bit confused.
I was almost wondering whether they would allot one side the orange Guernseys, which has happened on a couple of occasions during this night competition. We remember, of course, South Melbourne and South Fremantle playing at VFL Park a few years ago, Lou, don't we? And South Melbourne had the orange Guernseys and South Fremantle had the red and white.
And kind of confused everybody.
It did. It's a ball up.
It'll sort itself out pretty soon, I'd reckon.
Forward pocket. Thompson folds. Folds along the boundary line. Is well shepherded. Runs about 15 metres. Shoots the ball back up towards the right centre wing for Essendon. Almost a mark out there to Norwood, to Hine. Mark or free kick, call it what you will. Hine shoots out the hand pass. It's taken by Murdoch. Down towards the left half-forward flank. Michael Laney couldn't do much with that. Kelly shoots out the hand pass. And once again, players hunting in packs, and it will be a ball up left half-forward flank for the Redlegs.
Well, it's a nice mess up at the moment as far as football style's concerned, Peter, because there's nothing about it at all, really. It's just a matter of what side can make the biggest pack.
It's a smorgasbord, but I think the side that first scores might have a real advantage.
Well, that'll be a free kick against Walsh. It'll go to Michael Annie. He's down there in the forward pocket and played so well against Geelong the last time. Boots the ball up into the goal square. The pack fly. No one can hold the mark. They go down. A hand pass comes out. It's your guess as good as mine who got it out there. There's a chance for Minavini, but it's a bad kick. And it's marked right on the line by Vanderhaar, who get a 15-metre penalty. Vanderhaar, as we mentioned before, wasn't in the selected side, but he's out there now. be just about a mark. Now the umpire set play on as the ball is picked up by Murdoch. A long kick over the centre half forward position. Van der Haar and Walsh flies picked up by Ellis. A hand pass comes out to Scanlon. He was grabbed there, but the umpire set play on. This gives Watson a great break as he sends the ball down there towards the full forward position. Golly, that's nearly a free kick there to Ross, but the umpire said play, and Ross goes in after it again for Norwood. There's no big pardons out there really having a go. That's why the game is so scrambly, I would say.
Sure, it's a South Australian umpire down there too, so I don't think they can complain too much.
Well, that's Ross again going down. No one can break clear. I don't think anyone's had a fair dinkum breakaway here. The umpire has found a free kick. It'll go to Essendon. It could be Waterson to take the free kick about 35 to 40 metres out from goal directly in front. Or maybe King. Yes, it's Rene King, the incredible Hulk. Dead in front. There it is on its way. And that's a good kick. It's a goal. Just on the 10-minute mark of the first quarter, the Foster's Footy Cup. This is the fourth quarter final. And it's Essendon 1 goal, 6 points to Norwood yet to score. The centre bounce. It'll be Walsh against Big Hind. Knocked out by Walsh. That's a mighty punch down there towards the half-forward line. Rene King couldn't grab that. It's grabbed by Gallagher. Hand pass comes over now. Back it goes to Hind. That time from Scanlon out wide, and McGrath sends the ball wide out towards the wing position. Coming in to meet it is Kelly. Another hand pass coming over to Thomas. Thomas boots the ball long. There's Minovini coming in. A hand pass back to Neagle. This looks dangerous. A long shot up there. Michael Andy's got the mark. Well in front of goal. He's only about 25 to 30 metres out on a very slight angle.
Oh, they did it pretty well down the field, and I guess there was a chance of 2 there for the Redlegs, but it was Michael Andy who I think kicked 5 against Geelong earlier this year who's got the mark.
Okay, we're waiting now for Michael Andy to put their first goal on the ball. This is going to be a tough match for the Bombers. I know that Norwood are flat out to win it. There's the kick, and that's a good one. It's a goal, so scores a dead level.
Michael Andy's a good player. He worries backmen really because of his ability to mark. He's not perhaps as strong as, say, a Van der Haar, but he's a very good mark. More importantly, he normally converts. Neagle got the ball clear, but it was really the Norwood backman who set it up. Norwood likes setting up their attacks from defence, as does Essendon, of course.
A double-pronged attack down their feet with Roberts in the forward pocket.
Bit of a decoy, Peter. Yeah, he looks a lot older than he is, Neville Roberts, but he's still pretty cagey.
6 points apiece at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. Walsh doing well in the ruck for Essendon, picked up by Ross. Hand pass comes out to Scanlon. Scanlon long, looking for Michael Andy again. Van der Haar with him, or just about a mark. In goes Neagle, picked up by Donnell. Donnell shoots at the pass, it's short, and the mark is taken down there by Taylor. Taylor, right half-forward flank, about 65 metres from goal. Long up towards full forward. Van der Haar went the spoil. In goes Hazard. Minovini goes in. It will be a free kick to the red-headed Essendon rover, who's chipped it short. Mark taken by Kevin Walsh, who's done everything right so far. We haven't seen much of Walsh in the ruck. Generally a key defender, but he's doing well so far tonight. Terry Danaher on centre wing. Essendon skipper looking for Kink. A good mark to Hind. That's simply too tall. Gets the hand pass out to Thomas. Thomas has kicked Gallagher, who played a brilliant game against Geelong. Slips over, still has a fortnight to get rid of the ball. Thomas again. Back to centre field. Oh, strong grab. 2 Norwood players collided actually, but the mark taken by Kelly. Kelly in centre field. Once again looking for Michael Andy. Van der Haar this time taps the ball down and wins out. Van der Haar playing in the key defence post. A late inclusion on the Essendon side. It's up to centre field. Kick. Chasing kicks a long way from goal. It's a play on call.
15-minute penalty on that.
I thought he played on, Lou. It's a beautiful kick by Kink. Merritt, certainly one of the most improved players in the VFL. Harvey goes down. In goes Merritt again. Snapshot for goal is through for 1 point. That came up from Elshaw. And so Essendon take their score now to 7 points. Norwood 6. The Bombers lead by 1. First quarter in progress, some 13 1/4 minutes, or 3/4 minutes. Ball out towards the half back line. Hyde had the front position. Good tackle by Thompson. Walsh knocks the ball clear. McGrath, right half-back flank. Ball up the centre wing. Watson should get there first, and does. Essendon veteran spins around. Shoots it up to half-forward. Almost a mark to Terry Danaher. McGrath clears for Norwood.
And McGrath's kick is back. There's a chance for Keller to mark that. He's got the ball. He grabbed it off the